What was agreed at the meeting?
Yeah, well, the ASEAN countries had agreed, including Myanmar, had agreed to 5 points exactly. That there should be an immediate cessation of violence, constructive dialogue among parties concerned. As you mentioned, a special envoy of ASEAN chair should facilitate a mediation process. Fourth, they would provide some humanitarian assistance in Myanmar, and these are quite important steps, really. I mean, it's a bit too early to say one way or the other if they can be effective or not. This is a very unique position for ASEAN to be in. They're not usually in the business of interference in one of their member countries. So, whether we'll see the release of Aung San Suu Kyi, the release of thousands of prisoners that it's being asked for by other countries, whether the coup will in itself could perhaps end through this process and dialogue is still quite early to see.
How did the parallel government react?
Yes, well, just before the meeting itself, they had a list of demands. They were quite strict about asking ASEAN not to meet with the junta itself. They had asked for the military to step aside. It warned ASEAN that any meeting would be legitimizing the coup makers. And so the reaction itself was actually a bit surprisingly positive in that they found it, quote, encouraging. But again, there's still the matter of whether there'll be any end in sight to the tensions of the killings itself. And of course, there have been murmurings over the weekend, even as this meeting was happening, that there's been some continued violence. So while it was an encouraging development from the National Unity Government's perspective, they are looking for firm action from ASEAN to follow up on its decisions and restore democracy and freedom for the country.